For decades, we've been told that the era of big government is over, that globalization and the free market would make the nation-state irrelevant. But what if that's wrong? What if the state is staging a major comeback? In this video, we're diving into one of the most important debates in modern political science, bringing the state back in. We'll explore why governments, from the US to India, are more powerful than ever and why they refuse to just fade away. The three paradigms of state power. To understand the comeback, we need to see the state's power in three historical phases. Think of them as Mark I, Mark II, and Mark III. Mark I was the low state era from the 1860s to the 1930s. This was the age of liberal laissez-faire. The government should stay out of the economy. Interestingly, even Marxists wanted a low state, believing it would wither away after the revolution. Mark II was the high state from the 1930s to 1970s. The Great Depression and World War II proved the market couldn't do it all. Inspired by Keynesian economics, the state became a massive welfare provider and economic manager. Mark III, from the 1970s onward, saw the return of the low state. Led by Thatcher and Reagan and fueled by public choice theory, which argued bureaucrats are self-interested, the push for privatization and deregulation began. The intellectual endeism of the 1990s. By the 1990s, with the fall of the Soviet Union, a triumphalist narrative took hold. Thinkers like Francis Fukuyama declared the end of history, meaning liberal democracy had won. Daniel Bell talked of the end of ideology. The prevailing idea was convergence theory, that all countries were becoming a similar mix of market and state. The big question was, is this neoliberal low state the final, permanent model for humanity? The counter-revolution. Why the state is back in? The answer is a resounding no. A powerful intellectual counter-revolution, led by scholars like Theda Skocpol, argued that we must bring the state back in as a central actor. She said the state isn't just a passive product of society, it's an independent variable that shapes society. States have autonomy from their own needs for security, law and order, and managing crises. As scholar B. Guy Peters put practically, the state is incredibly hard to roll back. When it stops doing one thing, like running factories, it often expands into another, like creating complex new regulations. It's a whack-a-mole game. The indispensable state, the developing world. Nowhere is the state more crucial than in the developing world. The text makes it clear. Telling a country like India or Nigeria to roll back the state is foolhardy. In these nations, the state is the primary engine for building infrastructure, accumulating capital for future growth, and providing basic social security. The text delivers a powerful critique of the neoliberal, public choice model, stating that what the Third World needs is not self-interested individualism, but integrative communitarianism, a focus on community and collective good, which only a strong state can facilitate. Evidence of the state's resilience. The evidence for the state's comeback is everywhere. In the West, despite all the talk of small government, we see the rise of the nanny state. In the UK, with pervasive surveillance and security laws, and the state constantly stepping in to bail out failing industries. Globally, reports from the UNDP and ILO show that where states have shrunk, the results are devastating: record poverty, unemployment, and failed development goals. The market alone has not delivered. The Indian example, a state that never left. Let's take India as a prime example. Scholar Rajni Kothari explains that the Indian state never really receded. He outlines three unstoppable shifts. 1. Centralization. Power flowed to a powerful center in New Delhi. 2. Nationalization. This center became the definer of Indian national identity. 3. Mass society. To manage a huge, diverse population, the state had to expand endlessly, becoming a massive, managerial, and welfare-oriented entity. This trend is a global reality. Lessons from the great economists. We can learn from three economic giants who understood the state's role. 1. Keynes taught us that when the economy crashes, only the state has the power to restart it through spending and investment. 2. Polanyi brilliantly argued that you can't leave essentials like labor and the environment to the cruel logic of the market. The state must protect society from the market's excesses. 3. Innes warned that without a strong state, economies become unstable storm centers for the world. The real issue, it's not state versus market. So, what's the conclusion? The debate was never a simple choice between state or market. That's a false dichotomy. As the text concludes, the issue is not about substitution, but positive collaboration. We don't need a weak state or an absent state. We need a strong, capable state with a new, smarter agenda. Its real job, according to the common sense theory, is to be a mediator, a conflict manager, and a leader. The future belongs to those who can build a synergistic relationship between effective governance and a dynamic market.
If this video helped your UPSC prep, like, share, and subscribe to IAS Study Space. Turn on the bell icon so you don't miss the next class. Thank you for watching the video.